Hey loves! So I was going to scratch this zombie tutorial, but I decided to share it with you. This was my first time trying special effects. It's a little gruesome. Let's get started. Alright, so first you're going to need some liquid latex, some tissue of any kind, and some cotton. These are little cotton pads, and I'm just ripping them apart into little pieces. And then just taking the tissue, pulling the two sheets apart, and then ripping those into little strips in little pieces as well. Definitely don't be precise. Now I'm just picking the place that I want to put my first wound. Taking this little sponge and tapping some liquid latex right on my neck. And then I'm just layering little pieces of the tissue and tapping the latex on top. And then putting more tissue on. Making sure the edges aren't super smooth, so it doesn't look like just a big patch of skin. I kind of added more around the edges and then another sheet all the way across the top because I am going to tear a hole in the middle so it looks like a giant wound. I'm just kind of flipping up the edges so they look rough and gross. If you were a zombie, they would look pretty gross. I had to use a brush. The sponge just was not doing it for me. So I picked one that I don't use often because the liquid latex will ruin it, and decided just to use that. It's just a normal paddle foundation brush, and I'm just tapping more pieces on. Now switching to cotton pieces. I make a lot of weird faces. Liquid latex doesn't smell very good. I also totally got my hair caught in the one on my neck. Be very careful, do not get your hair stuck in it. So when I make faces like I am in pain, it's because my hair is being pulled, not because this is hurting my skin. So I'm just tearing a hole in the middle of that, just kind of ripping at it and pulling at it. Again, those faces are because I'm pulling my hair, not because I'm pulling my skin. So just as long as you don't get your hair in it, you're totally fine. And now I'm just applying some liquid latex to the middle of the wound and putting some little pieces in there so it looks extra gross and gnarly like a zombie bit me. And now I am a zombie. My plan was to do half pinup, half zombie, so I did this after I did my sailor pinup tutorial, and like I said, I was going to totally scratch this tutorial as I wasn't very proud of it, but I thought I would share it with you because now I can give you some pointers on how to make it more zombie-like, I guess. Plus I filmed it, so why not? Why not share it? Definitely not an expert by any means. Alright, I'm going to go into my Makeupgeek palette that I made, and I'm going to start with Bitten. This nice kind of burgundy matte shade, and I'm just going to blend that underneath my eye, into the socket of my eye. It's going to make it look like this half of my face is totally zombified. I'm just kind of dusting that all over my face. I waited until the wounds that I had created have dried because I didn't want to ruin any more brushes. And now I'm just going to dust Drama Queen underneath my eye, in the corner of my eye, and then blend it down my face. Now I'm going to go into the shade Corrupt and blend that underneath my eye as well, just to deepen it up. Going into Cocoa Bear, just a very red base brown, and blending that all around as well. There's no science to this, just be crazy, put it everywhere. And now I'm just pulling more at that little wound on my neck, or not so little wound, so it looks like there are pieces of skin hanging off. Pulling at the wound, I cannot speak ever, wound on my cheek. Okay, this is a horror makeup palette by Fun World. Beginning with the black, and I'm placing the black in the middle of the wound. The deeper the wound will look, the darker it is in the middle. And now I'm mixing the black and the red brown that's in that palette and buffing that around. Now I'm taking green on a little sponge. This is going to make it look infected and disgusting. And tapping that right around the edges. The next time I do this, I'm definitely going to use a little less black. I used too much black. I didn't feel like it was black enough, and then I used way too much. And I think that made it look more like a burn than a zombie bite, so that's my little tip right there. Mix the red in the palette and the red brown, and I'm kind of smudging that all around. Again, no science, tapping it everywhere. It was really tight on my face, that's why I keep making weird faces. Weird zombie-like faces. Going back to the green, tapping that on my neck as well. Now I'm using the BH Cosmetics 88 Matte Palette, and using this red shadow and smudging that around the edges and tapping it randomly on the wound. I'm kind of covering up some of the green so there's not as much green. I want the green to show, but not be as green as it looks right now. Going back into Drama Queen, I'm just blending some more of that. I wanted to deepen up my eyes. I'm kind of smudging that on my shoulder as well. Trying to make it look a little filthy. Going back into Corrupt, this super matte black. I'm drawing some little veins under my eyes really quick with a tiny angled brush. Alright, and that's what it looks like before the blood. This is what makes it the vampire blood. I think this helped a lot. The more blood you put, the more gruesome it's going to be, and I made sure to put that right in the wound, and then I kind of made these weird faces to get it to kind of drip out of my wounds. I'm just kind of tapping it all around. Just kind of dripping it all over my face. I was checking to see if it was safe to put in your mouth, but I don't think it even said, but I risked it. Just squirting that in there and then rubbing it all around and kind of dragging it down my neck. You can be messy with this because, again, the more blood the better. Alright, and this is the completed look. Again, I would probably use a little less black unless you're going for a more burn zombie look, then you are set. This is a little grosser than I normally do. Again, this is my first time trying special effects makeup. I look forward to trying more. It's a little intense for me though. I really like the really pretty glittery curling looks, as you know. But it was definitely fun. It was definitely something new. And if you guys, gross, ever recreate any of my looks or recreated any of my Halloween looks, please tag me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram because I would love to see them. And we're about time back to normal videos. Yay! Happy November. Can't wait to talk to you guys. Bye!